Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I always smile because the intros are just so embarrassing. Well, not embarrassing, but like, I don't know, it's just like, I find it cringe doing an intro. The rest of the video is fine, but intros are just like, oh, what do I say? Anyway, I found an editing app called CapCut, so I've started using that one. I'm not as much of a fan of it as I was Splice, but Splice costs £10 a week to use, and I'm not going to pay £10 a week for an editing app. So, yeah, 40 quid a month seems a bit extreme. On my last video, I got a comment. This comment. Saying, these guys are all collect and no play. Makes no sense. So I just found it funny, basically. It didn't offend me or anything. I replied to it, but just in like I play my games, what are you talking about? Yeah, I collect way more than I play, obviously, because there's only so many hours in a day, only so many hours in a year, etc. But I thought I'd do a video on I think it's 37 games that I've completed this year. And that was with 3 months off, because I was caring for my dad and stuff, because he had some falls, etc. We'll not get into that, but yeah, so here's the video. Richard Royce. The first game I completed this year was Gungrave Gore on the PS5. This cost like, I think it was like 8 quid on eBay or something. It's completely inexpensive. And it was alright. Towards the end, it got very copy and pasty. Most of the enemies were just the same over and over again. It was like, you had like the little guys, the people with the snipers, the regular gun guys, blah blah blah. Then you had like the monsters and everything. And by the time you got to like the last level with the last boss, it was all just like lizard guys that were made of crystal, and crystallized like big brute guys as well. And I swear to God, there's like 20 or something running at you at once, and you're just literally stood there with a big gun going brrr, like just blasting them all. And yeah, it starts off pretty fun. I really enjoyed it at the start. It was only like the last couple of hours where I was getting really burnt out and I just wanted to finish it. So Gungrave Gore, I think it was like an 8-hour game, 12 hours, something like that. You could put more into it if you really wanted. It was okay. I'm going to keep it because I might want to play it again for a bit of mindless fun. The music's really good as well. I actually really enjoyed the music in this too. Probably not on the same level or par as the old games. Definitely. Not even probably, definitely. But for a PS5 release that cost me 8 quid, I'm certainly not going to complain about it. So yeah, Gungrave Gore. So this year I started collecting 360. This year, 2024, is my first experience with Xbox at all. I went a bit mental on Xbox collecting this year, and my second game of the year was 007 Bloodstone. I freaking love this game. When I was a kid, we used to play Nightfire all the time, 007 Nightfire on the PS2. It also came out on the Xbox. I really enjoyed it. Great first-person James Bond, honestly. I played it so much with my brother, and he would always pick the one level. I think it was like the underground submarine bay or something, and it had this piece of music in it that like used to just terrify me. So yeah, 007 Bloodstone, absolutely loved this game. Heard semi negative things about the new James Bond. James Bond. James Bond? Heard semi negative things about the new James Bond games, but after playing this, I'm really looking forward to playing the other ones on the 360. This is a great game. The driving in this feels so good. It's so nice to control the cars. It feels almost like a racing game in a way. Just generally the missions, the fact that the character model actually looks pretty decently like Daniel Craig. I watched all the Daniel Craig James Bonds this year, and I just really enjoyed playing this one as well. Or playing this, I should say, not as well. It was just a really, really good fun time. Again, about 8 to 12 hours. A completely separate story from the Daniel Craig movies. Just a really good game. I suggest this one without a doubt. It's a really, really fun James Bond game. And it does definitely make me want to play at least another one this year, or this coming year anyway. So yeah, 007 Bloodstone. Really, really, really suggest this if you haven't played any of the new James Bond games. I assume it plays just as well on the PS3 as well. So yeah, definitely one you should pick up. Surely I didn't complete this early in the year. Was it this early in the year? Although I did have some, yeah, I had some time off. I have a list of games that I completed this year and some from last year as well. But obviously because of the time off I had, looking after my dad and stuff, my first completed game, which was Gungrave Gore, was the 30th of March, which feels crazy, like I missed out January and February, which is wild. So my third completed game of the year, which surprises me, it was on the 22nd of May. Oh my god, a month after Bloodstone, which was 22nd of April. That's crazy. Yeah, okay. Who knew? Stellar Blade. Oh my god. I remember last year we saw the trailers and stuff for this on the State of Play, and I was so excited to play it when it came out. And it was really, really good. It was really genuinely one of the better Souls-likes I've played in the last 5 years, I'd say. The only issue I had with this, and I mentioned it in one of my other videos, was the difficulty spike right at the end was crazy. I basically blasted through, I think, every boss fight on the first attempt, and they weren't necessarily easy. It was just like the fighting was so smooth and good that you could just get used to it really, really quickly. And I play a lot of Souls-likes anyway, so I'm kind of used to them. But the unidentified Naytiba was when the difficulty started to kick it up in level. I really enjoyed that boss after I actually finally beat it, or when I beat it. It was a really, really good fight. But after that, or maybe probably a few after that, I don't remember. When I got to Raven, the difficulty spike was insane. I don't know what happened there, or why they did that. I couldn't beat Raven. Maybe I could have if I'd spent years on it. I couldn't beat Raven without lowering the difficulty setting, and I still feel guilty about that, to be honest. But you gotta do what you gotta do. There's Stellar Blade. Other than that issue I had with the difficulty, kicking it up right at the end, I really enjoyed it. It's a really, really great game. Great Souls-like. It was a good story. The characters were fun. Eve is really fun to play as. She controls really well. Her weapon is like a sword. Well, it is a sword. Again, there's not much to say about it. It's Stellar Blade. If you've seen any gameplay, or if you've seen an anime-looking Souls-like, it plays like that. People compare it to Nier Automata. I've not played Nier Automata yet, or Nier Automata, however you say that one. They have a DLC, it's not really a DLC in my opinion, like an expansion pack now for Stellar Blade, where the character 2B from Nier Automata opens a shop and you get like DLC items like outfits and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to say that this is predictable, however I did kind of predict the end and I knew who the villain was. But yeah, just an overall really good experience. I can't believe I played this in May. This came out in May this year, that's crazy. So yeah, Stellar Blade. Also the music in Stellar Blade, I just mentioned it with Gungrave Gore, but the music in this is absolutely stunning. Great soundtrack. I can't believe it didn't win a single award, to be honest, at the Game Awards, but it is what it is. Still a fantastic game, and I hope more people will go play it. Fourth game of the year, I'm going to start losing count after a few, but Resident Evil 7. It was the first time I've ever played Resident Evil 7, or even a Resident Evil game. This was the first one I ever played. I've seen playthroughs of it before, so I knew kind of the story and how it played, although I didn't know the full story because I didn't know what happened to Ethan and that kind of thing. But a really, really great experience. I've played some of the VR as well, and that is... Horror games don't scare me. They give me this, if it's a really good horror game, a deep, uncomfortable feeling in the pit of my stomach. So like I see a really like pitch black hallway through a door, that's me, like, I'm getting a little freaking uncomfortable. In the VR, it's terrifying. Really, really good, though, really fun. The fact that, like, you know, in the VR headset, if you want to look around a corner to see where someone is, you actually have to look around the corner, makes it really, really good. Just a really, really great horror game. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah, it's Resident Evil 7. It's years old. You've probably seen it and know all about it anyway, so I don't need to go on about it. It's a great game. Play it. More Xbox 360. This one had some stuff going on with it this year. This was one of the first Xbox 360 games to get kind of expensive. It's gone down again now. It got to £25. I think I paid $20 for it on eBay, and that was because it was priced down because, and I didn't care, the manual had a slight crease in it, so it got priced down and I bought it. And man, wow, this game. Not one I've ever heard of, because obviously I didn't collect for the 360 until this year. But wow, Nolan North's voice acting in this is just fantastic. I adore Nolan North. Again, I'm sure I've mentioned that in a video before. But Spec Ops: The Line is just a really, really great game. It's a third-person cover shooter. You can maybe tell, I don't know, it's one of those games. The 360 had tons of them. But it's different because you get to go along through the story with your two squad mates and you give them orders throughout, and I just found that part of the game really, really fun. It really gives a good kind of strategy aspect to it as well. The story, wow, the story is unbelievable. I just really enjoyed the specific plot points and what do you call it? Like plot twists throughout. There was during the middle of the game, wow, something happens. I'm not gonna spoil it, but goddamn, my feels were in pieces. But yeah, the characters in this are really good. The main character is great, who you play as, and the two squad mates you have are really, really fun. I didn't actually expect, I don't know, I didn't play many games from this era, and I guess going back, you kind of expect more cringe. But man, the characters in this were fantastic. They were well acted. I loved the dialogue. It's just a really great game. You should play it if you haven't played Spec Ops: The Line already. And it's on PS3 as well, so you don't have to get it on 360. My leg is going dead. Ah! Ooh! Oh, we're gonna have to put that leg there. First Xbox One game of the year that I completed, and I think I only did one other one. I went a bit ham on Xbox around this time of year, but it was Quantum Break. This was, I think, God, it was like, I think I paid either £2 or £4 for this. I freaking loved this game. I was super surprised. I kind of bought it because I was like, oh, it's cheap. It's going to be fairly cringe and probably bad. It's really, really good. It's the freaking guy who plays, God, what's his name? I don't remember his name at all. It's the man who plays Iceman in the X-Men movies. And it's just really good. It kind of reminds me of Infamous Second Son. You got time powers. Time is power. Look, it's that man. What's his freaking name? Infamous Second Son, like, basically, he has time powers, and the game actually controls really, really well. Again, it's a third-person cover shooter, which is a bit different from Infamous Second Son, but the way the powers work, and they're so smooth to use. I don't know. I really thought this was going to be a pile of jank, but it's really, really good, which just super surprised me, basically. Yeah, it's a great game. Play it if you haven't already. I'm still trying to remember this guy's name. It's so distracting. 1 second, I'll Google it. Okay, I Googled it. His name is Shawn Ashmore. I could not remember for the life of me, but man, I love him. He's a great actor. You don't see him in enough these days, but yeah, this is just a really good game. I don't need to keep going on about it. I'm wasting time by making this video longer. It's really, really good. It's in episodes, which I found weird because they made the game, but they made a TV show with it as well. But not really a TV show because it wasn't aired on TV. They made a show in episodes. So you're supposed to play an episode and then watch one of the episodes of the show between. But I had issues getting that to work, so I don't know if... you can watch it on YouTube, so there's that. I didn't really need to. I just played through the game, and I really liked it. The characters in it are really good. The music's fine. The last boss is terrible. I did it, but it's terrible. Very, very frustrating. Makes you think, what the hell am I meant to do? And then you're just like, oh, I'm just not doing it well enough, I guess. I don't know, it's strange. It's a great game. Play Quantum Break. More Xbox 360, and one of the last ones, Enslaved. This was one of the games that made me want to pick up an Xbox 360, basically. I know you can get it on the PS3 as well, but I never had a PS3, and I just wasn't bothered about that era until Collector John. His videos, man, that's what made me want to get a 360 and start playing these games. So yeah, Enslaved, it's a great game. It's based on Journey to the West, and it's called Odyssey to the West. Yeah, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. You play as Monkey, Sun Wukong, but Monkey. You make friends, not really. You're like enemies to lovers with Trip, who is the girl who puts the headband on your head. So she's got full control over you. She is your master, and you're as Monkey. Really, you're not really doing anything. You escape from a ship, a slave ship. Makes sense, yes. and then you meet Trip, and you're helping Trip get back to her family, her town, her father, and then stuff happens. There's plot points and stuff. It's just a beat 'em up basically. That's the combat. It's like a hack and slash type game. There's a floating cloud, so you have the Nimbus as well. It's a really, really good, not adaptation of Journey to the West, but it's a really good game based on Journey to the West. Definitely, I think probably one of the first of its time, because we have quite a few now. Crown of Wu, Black Myth Wukong, the Monkey King game on PS4 that's really odd. But yeah, Enslaved, great game. Really, really suggest it. Great music, great characters. Andy Serkis plays Monkey. That's a great enough reason to freaking play it. Enslaved. Play Enslaved. It's great. Oh man, my feels. Playing Resident Evil 7 was something. Playing Resident Evil 8 Village was something else on another level. This game, it started off pretty slow, I thought, when you're just like running around, walking around the village, trying to work stuff out. When you actually get to the main castle of the game, where most of the game takes place, until you beat that boss of that area and move on to the next area. Most of the game's in the castle, I would say. This is a really, really, really good Resident Evil game. I would probably say it's on par with 7 as my favourite, for now, until I play the rest of the remakes. But, I mean, wow, it really expands upon Ethan Winters' story, which is fantastic. I really love Ethan Winters. He's a super special character to me. He deserved better, but man, he sacrificed everything for the people that he loved, and I really respect that. He was written so well. I loved the characters in this. Really, really, really fantastic game. Super strong addition to the franchise, I would say, and well worth a play. So, yeah, Resident Evil Village. Super quick one to complete. Me and Joe played this together, so I didn't complete it by myself, but we did complete it because we got to the credits. It's the all-you-can-eat version of Overcooked. I think we play this like once a year. We play through 1, and then we play through 2, and then the DLCs. But we just get to the credits for the first and the second game, and then that's us done with it. But it's a great game. It's a top-down, or like isometric-ish top-down cooking game, where the classic games where you pick the ingredients, put them together, and then you have the meal, and then you serve it. And you basically just do that until the timer runs out, and you try and get 3 stars, you 3-star all the levels, and then you do the boss at the end of the game. That's it. It's a great, great game, really fun, super fun co-op. Couch co-op as well. It's got online multiplayer, which is fantastic. Spent so much time on that as well. And great couch co-op, and it's just a great game to play if you want to enjoy cooking and shout at your partner. We're doing alright now. I'm almost through the first stack, so we're doing okay. Another Xbox 360 game, Toy Story 3. I wanted to play this game for so long. I played the DS version when I was a kid, and that game is really fun. This, I played the Wii version of this as well, so I have it on the Wii, and I have it on this, and I have it on the DS, but I haven't played the DS one in so long. It's really hard. It's a freaking kids game. It's a Disney Pixar game, as you can tell. Don't really need to show you the back, but man, it's super difficult. It starts off pretty, easy, going through Andy's house and stuff, and then you get to like the Sunnyside area, which in the movie they go to Sunnyside, which is like a nursery, kindergarten for Americans, and then it just starts getting really, really difficult. As Buzz Lightyear, you go through the video game version of, if you've seen Toy Story 2, the game that Rex is playing. You go through his like space area. That's super difficult, but not like the most difficult. The part I found the most difficult was the bit when you get to like Dolly, and there's floating stuff, and you're like riding rails as fucking Woody and everything. This game gets freaking insane really quickly. It took me like, oh my god, I just remembered the last boss of this game. Also, there's no credits either. I don't think the credits rolled for this game, but it was finished because I finished the last boss, and then you just go back to like the toy box area, sandbox mode. Yeah, the last boss of this game, wow, that was on the level of Quantum Break. It was so annoying. You fight like the big witch version of Dolly from the 3rd movie, and I think she's in the 4th movie as well. and it was just insane. It felt like I honestly wasn't going to complete it, and I was a bit worried about it, but no, we did it after a while. It took me probably like an hour, though. You have to, like, as Buzz Lightyear, fling yourself back and forth across the map, and just basically shoot her and shoot stuff that she's creating to get rid of her power until she gives up, basically, and man, it's freaking difficult. So if you're going to play this one, be warned, it's pretty hard. But we got there in the end, we did it, so cool. Hogwarts Legacy for the PS5. Wow. I forgot. Wow. I fully played this game on the Xbox One, because I got an Xbox One this year as well. God, I've been going crazy with Xbox. I wanted to play this game, and I thought the cheapest way to play it is the Xbox One, so I did. And it was really good. The praise I have for this game, it was completely unexpected. There's some down... the praise I have for this game is just like... I just can't. I have so much praise for this game, which was unexpected because I fell out of love with Harry Potter years ago. It kind of reignited something in me that made me like Harry Potter again, so that's cool. The only issue I had with this on the Xbox One was the loading times for the doors. It took your immersion away completely. You would run up to a door, and then a little buffering symbol would come up, and that was really annoying. So I've completed that completely, obviously. Credits roll. Fantastic game, great music, really, really immersed when you can be, when the doors aren't blocking your way. The story was good. It's a prequel to Harry Potter, I guess. You play as your own character and you go to Hogwarts. I can't remember how many hundreds of years it is before Harry Potter, but yeah. Yeah, it's just really, really good. But I suggest absolutely getting the PS5 version, or I think I heard someone say that Xbox Series S and X version also has the buffering issue, so this may be the best way to play it. Definitely the way I would suggest to play it. I haven't completed the PS5 version yet, but I did complete the Xbox One version. The way you do the spells is really good. The combat flows really well. I was watching someone else play it, I think it was T Martin, and I didn't think I would get used to the combat, but once you know what you're doing and you just get into that flow, it works so well. The bosses were really well balanced. The other characters, the NPCs and stuff, if you're strong enough, you'll be able to beat them. The parry system is really fantastic too. You basically just match colours, but it works in it feels like you're not just matching colours. It's like, oh, I have to do that now that they're doing that. And it really makes you think, oh, I'm getting good at this game. Yeah, the environments are fantastic. You can fly around on your broom. You get to, look after animals and stuff, because you get a big vivarium, if that's what you even call it, where you can catch your animals out in the world, and then you take them back to your vivarium, raise them properly, and then you get the stuff that you need for your spells and things like that, like if you need fur or, scales or whatever for potions. Hogwarts Legacy is a great game. I can't suggest it enough if you haven't played it. Not even if you're not a Harry Potter fan. You don't need to be. I wasn't, and I played this game, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, it's worth a play, definitely. Hogwarts Legacy. Last Xbox One game, I believe. So, yeah, we didn't go that ham on Xbox One this year, but I did complete 3, because we did Quantum Break, Hogwarts Legacy, not Harry Potter, and Diablo 3. First experience with Diablo. Again, really enjoyed it. I figured I'd get it, because I thought a bit of mindless... hack and slashy fun, top down, spells stuff. I went with I think it's called a warrior in the game, I can't remember now, but I completed it. I can't remember how long it took, probably like 20 hours maybe. Started off doing most of the side stuff, and then just by the end, the last couple of hours, I was just plowing through enemies, just trying to get to the credits and stuff. It's weird, it's like my first experience with the genre, obviously, this kind of game. I don't know, it's like you're not doing much, but you feel powerful, which is why I really enjoyed Diablo, especially when you get to the bosses and you've beaten the boss within like a minute and you're just like watching the little health bar go down. It feels really good. The fact that it's a little combat roll and stuff, you can be a spellcaster and other things. That's what my partner was doing. Because I have the Xbox 360 version as well, so I was playing this and we were playing the 360 version, so completed this by myself, and then I think we stopped playing the 360 version, but I've also got it on PS4 because I just really enjoyed it, and I recently bought it for Switch as well, so when I'm at my dad's, I can just go play it on the Switch as well. It's really just mindless fun. Once you know the buttons and stuff, you could just completely zone out and still be playing the game. But yeah, I really enjoyed Diablo, and I'd have the fourth one on Xbox as well, so I'm really excited to start playing that, but I haven't yet. So yeah, one of my most one of my most one of my most anticipated games. I just tried saying anticipated like 3 times. It failed. Of 2023. I started playing this game in 2023, completely co-op with my partner. So we played it together. You can go through the story. The whole story. You can go through the whole story with, whoever you want. It's a 2-player co-op game if you want it to be. That's what we did. So we played mostly on, I think, his world, and then once you get to the end of like a chapter or a mission, you can basically, you go back to your world and you can skip what you just did with them, so you don't have to do it both times like you do in Dark Souls and stuff like that, and other games. I assume I don't really play many co-op games, but yeah, man, I love Avatar so much. Ever since the first movie came out, I was in primary school when the first movie came out, and I used to get up every morning super early and put it on to watch. Whether I finished it or not, probably not that often, but man, I used to watch that movie just relentlessly. And then the second one came out, and wow, I freaking loved it. And when this got announced, this game is an absolute dream. This game is everything I ever wanted from an Avatar game. I played the Wii version when I was a kid, and I know it's on Xbox and it's on PS3 as well. This game is the ultimate Avatar game, and if they make a sequel, which I think I've heard that they are going to be working on a sequel, I will spend so much money on it. Whatever I need to spend on it, I will spend. I loved this game so much. Everyone compared it to Far Cry and just said, "Oh, it's Blue Far Cry." It's not Blue Far Cry. It plays maybe a bit like Far Cry, but so do many other games. Really, an absolute huge step up from Ubisoft, I think, considering they've been creating the same slop for years that we all still buy and play anyway. But this game is just unbelievable. The story is great. It's separate, again, from the Avatar universe. Well, it's in the Avatar universe. It was... I think they were colluding with James Cameron as well, which is also great. You can't get any better than having the guy that made the franchise working on your game with you, or like, giving you advice and things and okaying stuff. Yeah, wow, I just love this game so much. If you haven't played Avatar, put 60 hours aside and play it, whether you play it with a friend or if you play it by yourself. You've got crafting, you can craft weapons, you can craft food, you can craft items and things like that. The traversal in this game is fantastic. Like most of the time, especially at the beginning, you'll probably be running around a lot. But even that's fun, because you get to run really fast, hold X, do a giant jump, mid-air, press circle to slide, and then do the same again, and you're just continuously moving. And then obviously you get the dire horses and the banshees as well, the Ikran. So you can fly and you can also ride a horse. It's a great game. The story is great too. Obviously, you're taking Big Bad Corporation down, who is destroying the Earth, or Pandora, their Earth. It's a great game. You need to play Avatar if you haven't already. I can't suggest this one enough, honestly. It completely just blew everything I expected out of the water, and it replaced it with this gem. I've talked about it already. I'm not going to say much about Black Myth Wukong. This is the actual physical release. It came out, I think, 2 days ago now. We have a disc. We have a little manual. Proper box art. I can't believe it. It came 2 days early for me as well, before release, and I was so excited when it came through the door. I could not believe it. I love this game. I don't need to go on about it. You've heard me go on about Black Myth Wukong. Actually, one thing that is really good, I obviously bought the digital version because it came out digitally. That's how I played it on release. Finished the game, credits roll, blah, blah, blah. Because it's a Souls-like, and it is, you can start a new cycle when you reach the end, so New Game Plus. And I got this version, and it occurred to me, oh my god, maybe I don't have to start a completely new game. Maybe I can just put the disc in and start a new cycle. And I did. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going through New Game Plus on this right now. I love this game. It makes me just so happy when I see it, when I think about it, when I look at it. I love Black Myth Wukong so much. It is definitely my game of the year. In my opinion, it should have got Game of the Year, and we just had Game of the Year, and Astrobot won. And I'm happy that Astrobot won. They deserve it. Team Asobi and Nicholas Doucette did so well. Black Myth Wukong, still my game of the year. But if Black Myth Wukong did not win, I'm happy that it went to Team Asobi with Astrobot, because that game is just an absolute nostalgia trip for PlayStation fans, and I really, really enjoyed it. But Black Myth Wukong, if you haven't played it, it's a Souls-like, it's an action-adventure RPG. You play as Sun Wukong, kind of, not really. He plays the Destined One, but it's Sun Wukong. And you've got his powers and his spells, and you go through and you beat bosses, and you're basically trying to become him. You don't know that until the end, but you are. And then you fight him at the end, and it's fantastic. So yeah, the music in this is absolutely breathtaking. It won Best Action Adventure Game at the Game Awards, and I'm very happy it at least won something, if not Game of the Year. Yeah, Best Action Adventure Game of the Year. There is no others. It is the best action adventure game of the year. Again, my expectations were just blown away. This game is fantastic. Play it. You need to play it. That's the first stack done. Oh my god. We got to blast through, boys. 2024's Game of the Year, Astrobot. Fantastic game. Some of the challenge levels in this were absolutely mental. Like, I beat some of them, but I didn't beat all of them, so this wasn't a full, like, complete or anything. I just finished it. Really, really fun. I loved Astro's Playroom when I got the PS5. I didn't even know that existed until my friend told me. And I played it, and I just loved it. The fact that you can go through and collect all the PlayStation memorabilia is so much fun. I love any kind of collectathon. I love any kind of platformer. And this is a really great addition to Sony and PlayStation. Yeah, homage to PlayStation. I think a platformer that they've needed for a while, because PlayStation doesn't have that many platformers at the moment. They mostly focus on like third-person action-adventure games mostly. So it's a really good return to form, I think, because obviously they used to do a heck ton of 3D platformers. And yeah, it's just a really great game, really fun. It just makes you smile the moment you turn it on. The music's fantastic, as usual. It's really, really great. So yeah, play Astrobot, Game of the Year 2024. Well done! Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. This isn't how I completed the game. I actually played it on PS4, then traded it in and decided to get the PS5 version instead with this cool sleeve from eBay. Oops. Obviously this game came out ages ago now, and then they released the Director's Cut for PS5. The combat in this, I really, really loved it. It was a bit hard to get used to at first when they start adding different... what do you call it? When they started introducing different stances into the game, it was getting a bit more difficult, but it's definitely a difficulty curve you can keep up with as a player quite easily. Just make sure you're doing what you should be doing and following the instructions. Really, really flows well. I wasn't expecting just how well the game works, and how much the story and characters drew me in as well. Really, really fun, great character RPG. Yeah. This Ghost of Tsushima, I don't need to say any more on it. I need to get to a different game. Silent Hill 2 Remake, the game at the awards that will forever be known as getting snubbed out of any awards whatsoever. The fact that this didn't win Art Direction, Best Director, or even, you know, Best Music Score or Sound Direction is just, I can't believe it. Silent Hill 2 Remake won 0 awards, and I just think that's an absolute crime. I just couldn't believe my ears every time it was up for an award and it didn't win it. I mentioned this game in a previous video when I think I said top 5 games that I've played this year, and it's definitely easily in my top 5. I really, really, really loved this game. Same cover even without the sleeve, because this sleeve is from eBay. Yeah, this is one of those horror games that really put that deep, horrible feeling that in the pit of my stomach, like, wow. Every time I got to a dark area, or... God, the soundtrack in this is just, like, on a completely other level to any horror game I've ever played. It made me feel horrible, but in a good way. Like, they were doing their job really well. There's this one piece of music, I can't remember what it is or how it goes, obviously, but whenever it played, it was like, oh fuck, it was just so scary. And I'm not scared of horror games, so this is probably the closest I may ever come to being scared of a horror game until something else comes out. Maybe Silent Hill 3 will be remade. I would love a Silent Hill 1 remake, to be fair, just to make it more accessible to play. It's based on the classic Silent Hill 2 story, so I can't really say anything about the story, but the characters in this, Luke Roberts not winning for, like, you know, best actor of the year is just unbelievable. That is a true robbing. Luke Roberts got robbed. Hashtag, what a game. Silent Hill 2. Play it if you haven't. It just deserves your time. It takes like 20 hours to beat, which is like 10 hours longer than the original, but yeah. Everyone, I think, was so... They just weren't expecting this to be any good. And it defied everyone's reasoning and logic for it, and it is a fantastic game, so play it. It's great. So much PS5 this year, but Squirrel with a Gun. I pre-ordered this game. I remember seeing... Can't remember where I saw the trailer now. Whether it was on a State of Play or something, and I was like, I want to play that. I assumed it would be a bad, like, you know, Goat Simulator kind of rip-off. This game is great. I am such a big advocate for this game. If you haven't played it, it's a necessary play. I promise you, it's so good. You basically are a squirrel. You break out of a lab because they're trying to, you know, keep you there for some reason. You steal what is like basically a computer drive in the shape of an acorn. Of course it is, a golden acorn. And yeah, they try and subdue you, but you're a squirrel and you grab one of their guns. And yeah, God, this is so good. It's like basically a 3D platformer, shooter, collectathon. And you know, you can use the guns as traversal. Your double jump is like you shoot at the ground, and if you have an SMG, you can just keep firing it and fly, basically. I don't want to take too much time, but man, this game is amazing. So if you haven't played Squirrel with a Gun, you should. The music is fantastic too. The music, they have their own songs and stuff. It has boss fights. It's a necessary play, definitely. I've wanted to play Dredge for a while now, and I finally got around to it. This was God, what was it? I think this was a Prime deal, because we've just had Black Friday, so I ordered this, and then I ordered some others on Prime for the Amazon Prime deals, and wow, this game is great. If this part of the video seems kind of messed up, it's because my throat is now just causing me so many problems. I don't know, I've gone out of my flow. The start of the video started off great. I'm really happy with it. This part of the video is probably ass, so I apologize. Dredge. You're a fisherman. You get marooned for some reason. You get your own freaking fishing boat. I'm just annoyed now. And you've basically got to go catch fish, collect things for people, do little missions, and work out what the hell is going on. And it's a really, really good game. The fishing in this is fun. It's just like a mini game. You have to dredge for different items for people. So like one guy wanted like a belt buckle for his, you know, wanted the memory of his dead son and stuff. Really, really, really good. Love the art in this game. The art style is just brilliant. Who did this game? Oh yeah, it was Team 17. I love Team 17. I cannot. There's not enough good things to be said about Team 17 games. They are fantastic. I always thought they were Ghost Town games, which is who did Overcooked. Actually, wait. Where is Overcooked? Nah, there you go. Team 17 did Overcooked as well. So, I'm not surprised at all that Dredge was good, because Team 17 just be bringing out so many good games. It's unbelievable. I don't know how they do it and how they stay on their form, but they do. This is a really good game. Not voice acted or anything, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't take anything away from the game. It's just fun. You will sink, you will sink hours into this game just completely by accident. It's great. Play Dredge. Still Wakes the Deep. I did a video on this. Well, not on this, but I did a video talking about my most favorite to least favorite games, or least favorite to most favorite games I played this year, and this was, I think, number 3, so it was right in the middle. Great atmosphere, great music, great ambience, great parkour, jumping from different environmental things. The graphics in this, when you're actually on the ship, are unbelievable. I could not believe it when I saw it, and it looked graphically almost realistic to real life. The story was really good. ended very, very sadly. Spoiler alert, if you didn't want spoilers. The voice acting in this, the fact that it's set, most people in this are Scottish or English. The main character is Scottish and his family is Scottish. Having a game with like Scottish representation is really, really cool because we don't really get much of that. I can't remember the last Scottish character that I even heard in a game. It might have been like Ollie from We Happy Few if he was Scottish. But yeah, this game is great. Not what I expected, didn't quite live up to my expectations, but still absolutely worth a play. And if you can get it for like 20 quid, then it's worth a play, or less, obviously, always. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. So Still Wakes the Deep is worth your time. You should play it. The water graphics in this are fantastic. I just found myself looking outside the windows of the rig and over all the railings and stuff, just looking at the sea constantly. It's great, and it's always raining pretty much too. I love raining games. The haptic feedback is really, really good as well. I love haptic feedback in PS5 games, so if I can get haptic feedback with rain and stuff, yeah, this game is great. If you can play the PS4 version of this, or get the PS4 version of this, or you have the PS4 version of this, don't bother playing this one. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Until Dawn didn't need a remaster, but it got one for some reason. Feels like Ballistic Moon completely missed the tone of what the original game had, and they tried to make it more like, ooh, teen scare fest, teen scream horror movie. It was just, no, I wouldn't bother with it if I was you. I'm keeping it because it's Until Dawn. I love Until Dawn, and it was okay to play, but if you've got the original, you don't need this game. That's it, basically. I think they may have changed the QTEs a little bit to make them easier, because I didn't miss pretty much a single one, maybe literally one, and I'm terrible at QTEs, so I don't know. It seems like people these days are moving in a direction, even in things like Man of Medan and House of Ashes, they're moving in a direction where the QTEs aren't as difficult. Like in The Quarry, all you have to do basically the whole game is just whoop, whoop, whoop. That's it. It is what it is. You don't need to play this game if you've already played the original, or if you have the original. Just keep the original. Don't bother with this one. I heard a lot of things about this game. Everyone absolutely adores Stray because she plays a cat, and that may be one of the only reasons. It was okay. Stray was okay. Probably around a 5 or 6 out of 10 for me. It was fun. The story was okay. The characters were good. I really liked the little robot that you have with you most of the game. Other than that, I don't know, there wasn't much to it. I just expected it to be more. I expected it to be better. I expected it to handle better. Smoother, perhaps. Like you can sometimes not jump quite as smoothly. If you don't have the prompt that tells you where you can jump, you maybe won't know, or you can't jump on things you think you can jump on, because cats can jump quite high. But other than that, it's like basically a puzzle platformer story game, and you play as a cat, and that maybe it's one selling point. But I'm glad I completed it. I'm glad I finished it. I was getting burnt out by the end though, so I'm glad that I did. So yeah, Stray. This, surprisingly, Indica had a nomination at the Game Awards for, I can't remember what it was. It was something like Best Impact Indie Game or Best Indie Game of the Year or something. And I would, without a doubt, say this is my Indie Game of the Year. I really, really, really enjoyed Indica. You start off, you're a nun, basically. You start off in your, what do they call it? I can't even remember. What do they call it? Oh, it doesn't say it on it, but I've remembered. You start off in your convent, and basically you get sent away to get a letter to someone, but it seems like it's just an excuse to get her away, because the convent don't like her. Indica sees things that other people can't see, so she has visions and stuff like that, and she's not liked at all. People basically hate her, and they just want to get rid of her, so they send her away. And throughout the game, you're finding out why she was sent there in the first place, what happened to her, and you meet a man, you meet a guy, you have a nice little romance, and she's being spoken to by the devil the whole time. This game is crazy. It's a puzzle platforming, story-driven game, third person. At one point, you're driving a fucking ye old motorbike. It's crazy. This game is insane. It was like 8 hours, maybe 6 hours, something like that. Well worth a play, I would say. You're being spoken to by the devil. Yeah, Indica. Play it. I've lost my flow. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happened to this video. My cat ruined it. Yeah. On top of all the third-person story-driven games I played this year, I found my love for shmups. So the Sikyo shooting library, I played Strikers 1 and 2 all the way through multiple times, and on Switch as well, because out on Switch. And I played Soul Divide 2. Not 2, Soul Divide as well. And Soul Divide I didn't complete, but I did complete Strikers 1 and 2. And I have Strikers on PS1 as well, and PS2. Strikers is just a great game. I don't need to say much more about it, other than that it's a shmup, and it's a World War II shmup. Soul Divide I really enjoyed, but I couldn't complete it. The last boss had 3 phases. But yeah, Strikers 1 and 2 is on my list, because I completed them both this year multiple times. So yeah, the Sikyo shooting library is really, really good. You should get it if you haven't. Mentioned it before, but I bought this from Cornish Collector, or the Cornish Collector from Instagram. So thanks, Ashley. Yeah, this game is really, really good. Really good shmup. I love the like bullet hell aspect of it. I love the music. I didn't know what I was doing most of the time, but I did complete it. So there's that. The art is fantastic. It's, I think, getting pretty expensive. I got a really good deal on this. I paid 37, I think, and it's going for upwards of 60, 70, 80 quid. So yeah, I got a really, really good deal on it. If you can get it for cheaper, I would say buy it and play it. It's quite difficult though. It has quite the difficulty curve, but it's worth a play, definitely. Luckily, I don't have to say too much about shmups. You shoot stuff, that's it. I completed it, it's good, it was on my list. When I was a kid, I played Crisis Core on the PSP, and I really enjoyed it. I finished it. It was one of the first games I actually finished as a kid. Then I got this, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, on the PS4. And when I played it on the PS4, because I was like, oh, a remake of one of my favourite Final Fantasy games ever, yes, please. I got it on the PS4, totally forgot to just level my spells, like, you know, turn Fira into Faraga and that kind of thing. Forgot to level my spells, and I got to Genesis right at the end of the game, and I couldn't complete it because I was too weak. I was doing chip damage to Genesis. So I put it down for a bit, and then I just never went back to it. And then I thought, screw it. I'm going to get the PS5 version, and I'm going to actually complete it, because I know that I can. I played it when I was a kid. And I did. I played the PS5 version. I think I put 12 hours into this, 12 or 13 hours, and I finished it. And, I mean, it's Crisis Core. If you've played Crisis Core on the PSP, it's the same story, it's the same game. It plays a little bit different, obviously, because, you know, it's better. It's a more accessible version of the game to play, definitely. The PS4 version is the exact same, probably just a bit different because it's on the PS5. I can't remember if the adaptive triggers do anything, or if there's any haptic feedback. There might be haptic feedback. There might be. Yeah, I love this game. The story in this game, it had me when I was a kid, and it still has me now. I love it. Heartbreaking ending. I cried as a kid and as an adult. Yeah, I'm really glad to have the PS5 version, and I'm glad to have finally completed it again, because I felt like a freaking wiener when I was doing the PS4 version, and I just couldn't beat Genesis because I was doing literally about 60 damage, and he's got like freaking 10 million health or something. So yeah, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, play it if you haven't already. It's a great Final Fantasy game. It might even get you into the franchise. Who knows? Darius Burst EX Another Chronicle. I really enjoyed this game. I have, I think it's G Darius as well, which is like a compilation port of the arcade games, the arcade blocks, the arcade units on PS4, and that's really fun too. But this one I actually completed. It's not that long, to be honest. I think there's different routes, so you beat one boss, you go through like one thing, you beat one boss, and then it goes, do you want to go here or do you want to go there? So you choose, and then you go there, and then there's, you know, more shooting, more boss, and I think you only have to do 3, and then the credits roll. So, but I really enjoyed this. The moment I put this in, and it installed, the music on the main menu, I'm gonna have to see if I can get a clip of it or something. It's absolutely just a freaking banger. If you haven't played Darius Burst EX Another Chronicle, it's worth it just to get it, install it, and put the music on your freaking thing. I'm going to find it on YouTube, hopefully, and see. It's amazing. I really love the graphics in this as well. Obviously, a giant leap from G Darius, the other one. The design of all the bosses and stuff is really, really good. The shooting feels really smooth. The music is brilliant. Definitely one you should play if you haven't already. Cotton Fantasy, my last shmup, I believe. I bought this, and I think I saw Retro Ghetto had this, and I didn't know it was on the PS4, so I decided to get it. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this as much as I did, but I've played it twice all the way through, I think, credits rolling and everything. It's not that difficult. Basically, if you die and you run out of continues, you can choose to continue, basically, but you lose your score, so you start from 0 again, which is fine by me. I'm not playing shmups in order to get the highest score or whatever. I'm literally just playing shmups to get through the story, if there is one. And this one has a fun little story. It's cute. You're a little anime girl. If you play as that character, you can play as various different characters. She just wants her sweets back, but someone's stolen them. So yeah, if you haven't played Cotton Fantasy, it's worth a play. If you're into shmups, obviously. If not, this would be a really good jumping in point for shmups because it's pretty easy. Obviously, if you die, you don't. So yeah, Cotton Fantasy is a good game. Play that one. So the penultimate game of my games I've played this year and finished list is Shadow of the Colossus on the PS4. Absolutely great remake. Really, really enjoyed playing this one. I actually got this for cheaper than I probably should have because it was 18. I was going to buy it. They didn't have it, so I didn't buy it. Then I got it for 15 the week after. So I'm happy with that. Really great remake. Really worth a play. The only thing I didn't like about it was the final boss. I can't imagine trying to do that boss on the PS2. Really difficult. It honestly took me about an hour and I almost gave up. Had a mental breakdown halfway through. Really happy I've finally completed it. And yeah. One of my pickups from last week completed already. This is a really great game. I couldn't put it down. I didn't play anything between while I was playing this. So each session this last week has been this game until I completed it. Somebody said on Instagram that the voice acting for this wasn't very good, and in some parts it wasn't, but mostly I found it quite charming. Maybe it wouldn't be as acceptable if it wasn't an indie game, but because it is, I did find it very acceptable. There's a dog automata in this called Camus, and his voice acting, I don't know, there was just something about it. I really enjoyed it. It was just really fun listening to all the banter. Oh god, the main character in this, okay, there's one thing about this game that I didn't like. The main character in this game, she's called Rania, is so dismissive of, like, everything. This game is like a dystopian, not post-apocalyptic world, but the government's taking over, everybody knows it, and they're all, like, kind of living underground and stuff. Not literally underground, but underground as in keeping on the down low. And, yeah, everyone's kind of either in need of help or, you know, all the NPCs in this need help most of the time. And every time Rania comes in contact with someone who's like, hey, can I have some help, please? She's just like, no, I'm busy. Leave me alone. I don't want to help you. I don't know you. And it's like, I'm the main character here. I'm playing the main character. Why can't I choose whether I'm going to help these people or not? And she does end up helping them, but it's just the fact that she's so rude to them in the first place. When somebody is in, like, dire need of help, and she's just like, I'm busy, please leave me alone, and then goes, oh, fine, I guess I'll help you. I don't know, the tone is just a little, like, it doesn't feel to me like what the main character in that situation would do. She's a delivery driver, so you're delivering packages for Cloudpunk the whole game, and people sometimes, basically. And, you know, you're a delivery driver. You've got time. You know, just give time to people. That's what I learned from this game. Just give some people some time, because, God, the main character is just so dismissive of everybody, and it drives me insane. That's the one thing I didn't like about this game. But other than that, the story was really, really good, very solid for an indie game. Had a lot more content in it than I actually expected. Lots of running around, tons of collecting to do, whether it's for missions or just for. You can sell the things you collect as well, like tech pieces, electronics, that kind of thing. Yeah, this game was good. I really enjoyed it. I would probably give it like a 7, 8 out of 10 if I had to rate it. Not that that's what this video is, but I did enjoy it. The only thing I didn't like was the main character just being like, no, I don't want to help you because I don't feel like it. I don't have time. You know, that's it. Thank you for watching. These have been my games of the year. Obviously, you can't... Oh no. Thank you for watching. These have been the 30-something... Well, this is actually 30 games I completed this year. I completed some other ones, but... I'll go through my list in a second after I've done the intro, now that I've remembered. But yeah, these are my games completed this year. So let it be known, Richard Royce, whoever you are out there, I do play my games. I just happen to collect a lot also. I have depression. This is what comes of it. I think what I've learned from this video is that I should do less. One pile would have been good for one video. Another pile would have been good for another video. That's about it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. It would be really, really helpful. Not for anything. I'm not getting paid. I just like seeing the little number go up. It makes my heart go, oh, that's nice. And I like reading comments. Even Richard Royce's comment, who is wrong, basically. I do play my games. But I'm not salty, I don't care. The comment made me laugh, and I was like, I can do a video out of that, even though the video turned out to be dog, basically. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.